The Nigerian Exchange Limited today announced the reintroduction of its market-making program, which the exchange first initiated back in 2012. That comes a day before tomorrow's exchange group listing of nearly 2 billion of its shares on its own Nigerian Exchange Limited. Ayodeji Ebo is a licensed trader and head of retail investment at Chapel Hill, Denham, and he joins me now for a chat today. Ayodeji, good evening, and thanks for coming through on the show.
Yeah, good evening, Watson. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Let's start from the market making. I'm sure you've been in the market long enough. You remember the market making program when it was first initiated. Now the exchange says is bringing it back. Tell me more about this.
Okay, thanks. I think this new rule that was approved by SEC in March was also to try to fix some of the issues, the initial rules in terms of market making. But before even going into the rule, so that our viewers understand exactly what we're trying to address, market making is just the process by which brokers provide liquidity. When we say liquidity is provide the ability, the buy and sell. So it means that at any point in time, the market maker for a particular stock would always provide a two-way quote, which means that if there's someone trying to buy, then they would try to buy from the person. And if someone is also trying to sell, they would also be able to take it off. So what market making helps the market to do is to ensure and improve liquidity. So you are sure that at any point when you want to buy or sell a particular stock, you would always find to buy and you'll always be able to sell. So that said, what we've seen based on the new, the amendment rule is they try to remove, in terms of the operating requirements. So for instance, you would require about 2 dedicated traders, which I feel may be too expensive to support. Also, there was like a basket of stocks for each market maker, and that has also been eliminated. So it means that the market maker will look at the stock that may be comfortable with and apply to the NSE. So I believe that this is an improved version of the rules, and I expect that in terms of implementation will also be better, and in terms of the effectiveness will also be better. So what the market should just look forward to is improved liquidity, which will deepen our market and we'll see more activities in the market as we progress.
What about investors? Yes, you touched a little bit about market-making institutions that are designated by the NGX. But then how does it benefit investors?
Okay, thanks. On the investors, what the investors tends to benefit is that they are sure that anytime they want to transact, they will always be able to transact successfully. What do I mean by that? Anytime a customer wants to sell, and if there's a market maker on that stock, it means that the customer will be able to sell no matter the price it's going for in the price is going for in the market. And if the customer is trying to buy, then the customer too would also be able to buy. You know, there are some times when there are some stocks are on full offer or on full bid. So market making would also help to checkmate this. And also just to recall, there's what we call this adjustment that market maker make pre-market and at the end at the closing. Yes. It was also amended, and it means that the investors will be the one to determine the closing price of the stock per day and not the market maker.
Yeah, very, very interesting adjustments there, and very good point you raised there, because that rule has now been amended. It's not the market maker, it is the investor who decides the closing price of that particular stock. And that is part of a very good thing that we've seen moving forward. But tomorrow is a very big day. I'm sure all of you are keeping an eye on this, which brings to a formal close the demutualization process of the Nigerian Stock Exchange into NGX Group. What's your expectation tomorrow as we're looking at about 2 billion ordinary shares, special listing of NGX on NGX?
Okay, thanks. I think we're all looking forward to it, and it's really going to be an exciting time. What it brings to the market, you know, it was first listed on the OTC market, that's the NESD market, but we know that market doesn't have as much visibility as the NGX. And so what we'll see is improved participation, would see interest because not all investors have the NESD, CSCS. So now any investor that is interested in holding or in owning NGX shares would be able to buy the shares. We believe that based on the interest and looking at even the performance and the forward strategy that even the NGX has as a group, believe that there will be a lot of interest in the stock, and we expect upon listing that the stock should rally this for some few days before it takes a breather.
Ayodeji, you're sure that this particular stock, because it's special stock, by the way, so you think at least almost everyone who is in the market already will want to have a bite of this 61-year-old exchange?
Yes, definitely. And so when you check their past performance, they've been profitable. So it's not like it's a new company. And since they are profitable, then they will be able to pay dividend. And we know the culture or the custom of most Nigerian investors, the after dividend. So we believe that based on this, and even just the pedigree that in the class where they play, we believe that will also garner a bit of interest.
Yeah, we're going to be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Give me just your thoughts about a minute on the latest central bank's guidelines on BVN, and what is the financial regulator looking to achieve here?
Okay, thanks. I think based on the new policy, what the CBN is also focusing on is how to use the BVN to sanitize the financial system. So there's what we call the watch list. So for instance, sometimes you have serial borrowers that defaults across the bank. So yes, there's the credit bureau that also takes care of that. But with the BVN, you'll be able to either deactivate or remove someone on the watch list or add someone to the watch list. So it gives a bit of visibility, and you know the BVN is like the unique identifier. So even if you have different accounts, you're also able to be will be able to be traced. And lastly, on part of what the rule or the guidelines also saying is the usage of the BVN in terms of how to protect who can access it, and there are some parties that the CBN will also need to approve before even NIPS will give approval for them to use the details of clients. So it also supports the idea of data protection, because that's always a concern even for most customers. So even before you can come on board and also integrate, you need the certification from this Nigeria Data Protection Agency that will certify that you have a structure that will help protect the data. So I feel this guideline is coming out at the right time and also in the right direction, and will also provide comfort for Nigerians on and for them to be able to see how they make use of their BVNs.
Quite some innovative points there. Thank you so much. Ayodeji Ebo, Head Retail Investment at Chapel Hill, Denham. We thank you for your time on the show tonight. Have a great evening.